Well, in the meantime, 26 U.S. states have filed lawsuits, or they did so since Friday, against the Biden administration and their vaccine mandate, challenging the requirement for workers at larger companies.
And one of those states is Indiana, and Indiana's Attorney General Todd Rokita joins us right now to talk about it. Sir, what is your legal approach, and how do you think this will play out?
Well, I'll tell you guys, thanks for having us. It's a three-pronged approach. We filed suit last week on the OSHA rule, this emergency standard that they put out. And so we're in the Seventh Circuit in Chicago on that, and we're covering the basis of trying to get as many circuits covered as possible between us here in Indiana and other like-minded attorneys general across the country. And then the second prong is to try to protect our federal contractors, because they're caught in the middle of this under the Biden's executive order with the federal employees. They don't even have a choice between a test and a shot. They may just get brought into the federal employees and have nothing but a shot mandate. And then third, healthcare providers who provide health services that are covered by Medicare or Medicaid, that needs to be addressed too, because they're under the Biden sweep. And so we need to protect those people, because states are responsible for running Medicaid, not the federal government, and they shouldn't be telling our healthcare providers what they need in their arm and what they don't.
Also, your reaction possibly to New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy's response after he was asked if he would ease up on COVID mandates. Listen to what he said.
Are you at all thinking about some relief on any of your mandates?
Listen, there's mandate fatigue everywhere, including with yours truly, so let there be no doubt about that. At the moment, no.
So obviously you don't agree with him.
Well, leftists keep on lefting, right? I mean, just like haters keep on hating. And so I don't expect these people to really change. These are hardened leftists who, let's be clear, guys, this is not just about, may not be, at all be about shots in the arm. This is about having control over the individual, which is what it's always been about with these leftists. And so they just want to know how much they can get away with under current law. They want to know how much people will succumb and give up their individual liberties and their common sense. And so that's what I'm fighting against, is trying to
Mr.
preserve
Rokita, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, just trying to preserve that individualism for us, because they've been taking it away bit by bit over decades, and this is a huge leap forward. But it's worth fighting against, because once we lose that individual liberty, it's very hard to get it back.
Mr. Rokita, I wanted to ask you, how are things economically in Indiana right now? What is the mood of people? What you say? Give us a status, if you will, and how you think this mandate could affect all that.
Right. So our unemployment, it continues to be low, right around 4%, for this kind of atmosphere. But we're having the same supply chain shortages that everyone else has. We're having the same labor shortages that everyone else has. The mood that I get, and I go around the state almost every day, I'm in a different part of the state, is people are a little bit scared. People are a little bit grumpy. People are wanting this to be over. People have declared victory in Indiana. Hoosiers have declared victory against this ridiculous vaccine, and more so this ridiculous vaccine requirement. They've declared victory over the Wuhan virus, and they're ready to move on. I heard that in a text, saw that in a text message today. We are ready to move on and get back to our normal way of life, and there's nothing that should be prohibiting us from doing that, and there is no requirement that should make us a prerequisite for, before we have to do that, including a vax or even a mask.
Yeah, and there's at least one Democratic governor of the state of Kansas that's joined in on this as well. How would the vaccine mandates, how would that impact like the supply chain issues that we're having right now? I was reading that specifically it would impact truckers.
Right. I mean, these people drive in a cab their whole day. They can't really infect anyone else. They can't really hurt themselves in terms of a virus. And by the way, the vaccine doesn't stop the spread of the virus, especially the Delta variant, which has been shown in several studies now to have no effect. So this mantra where it's not about you, it's about protecting everyone else, really has a lot of holes in it. And then you apply that to our children. Again, this is an experimental set of drugs. Until it's been through the FDA for 5 or 10 years to see over time what the effect is, and there is no substitute for time, then you really don't know. And so the most resilient of us in this population are our children, and they shouldn't be subject to it for sake of the teachers, because that really doesn't matter.
Let me ask you, does your objection legally include the mandates requiring 5-year-olds to get this, or is that a separate endeavor you might take?
I think that's going to be a separate endeavor. We haven't really, that's been a local sort of decision. We really haven't seen anything from the federal government, and it hasn't been the case in Indiana, so we wouldn't have any standing. But, you know, the leftists are coming for them too, these are our kids, and so we're going to be ready for it. I'm very proud of the fact that in a tsunami-like fashion, many states have banded together, have coordinated to make sure that we have all our bases covered. And so, you know, these are David and Goliath kind of battles, I've said, and it's always nice to have a lot of Davids.
And it sounds like what you're saying is the people of Indiana are ready to get on with normal life.
We are ready to get on, and it's ridiculous. We pride ourselves on our Hoosier common sense, and we could utilize it to protect ourselves and our families, our loved ones, and those we come in contact with.
Yeah, you need Gene Hackman out there fighting for you.
Yeah.
All right. Attorney General Todd Rokita, thank you so much, sir.
You bet. Thank you.